Hello, everybody. I want to introduce myself to those of you that haven't met me yet, and then say hello to everybody that's in my cohort. My name is Michelle Butler, and I live on 6 acres of land in Woodruff with my family, and I'll go ahead and ask for some grace because my chickens are over here wanting to come visit me in the she shed. So if they pop in and you hear some clucking in the background, that's what that's about. But I live here on our little farm with my husband, and we have 2 sons. One is 22, and he's in his last year of college, and then our other son is 16, so he just graduated from 10th grade. And we also have, oh, there's a baby. You see her? Yeah, she's wanting to say hello. We also have our dog, Lily, pit bull boxer mix. She's fixing to be 4 years old on the 4th of July. That's how we remember her birthday. And we also have 2 cats and a big flock of chickens. And this year we're also raising ducks. So it's my little farm life. And I am fortunate to have a separate space that I'm able to come and work. Right now I've got the door open because it's a little warm out here, but this is my she shed. So it was originally built to be a playhouse, but my husband is a contractor, so his idea of a playhouse and mine were a little bit different, but it worked out perfectly because this is where I come to do my schoolwork. So a little bit about my background and my experiences. I have been in the field of special education for over 26 years, and my passion really began with at a young age. I was 9, and a friend moved into our neighborhood, and she was deaf. And I just fell in love with her and sign language, and we became best friends. And so that really started my journey and sparked that interest in me in working with people that have special needs, and in particular sign language. Finished high school, and I went to work at the Department of Disabilities and Special Needs, Whitten Center in Clinton. And there I was an assistant to the administrator there, providing programming for adults in a work type environment. And these adults all had severe mental and physical disabilities. So I did that while I was working my way through school. Went to Converse and received my bachelor's degree in deaf education, and immediately started working on my master's degree. And during that time, I was also a residential advisor in charge of Pale Hall, and also started teaching at the School for the Deaf and Blind. So I was working on my master's degree full-time, running a dorm full-time, and teaching full-time. To say I was burning the candle at both ends would be an understatement. So I think back on that time and wonder how in the world I made it through, but I did. And I'm thinking about that for this summer too, but we're gonna make it through. One thing I will let you know, if you see me look up, I do have to make notes for myself these days. I'm going through menopause, and one of the things I'm struggling with is keeping my thoughts organized. So I do have to take notes and give myself a little grace with that, and use cue cards and little pointers. So after I worked at the School for the Deaf and Blind, I was there for 6 years as a teacher of the deaf, and I taught English language arts to deaf middle school students in grades 6 through 8. And then we got pregnant with our first son, who's now 22, fixing to be 23. And I resigned to stay home with him when he was little. When I came back to work, I was offered a position in the residential program at the School for the Deaf and Blind. For those of you that are not familiar with the school, it's a residential school for the deaf and blind. And for students that live outside of a 30-mile radius, they stay on campus during the week. So the Residential Life program is that program that kind of oversees the dorms, the after-school activities. I was hired to coordinate and supervise the educational teachers that came in to provide instruction after school. I worked on curriculum design. We hired certified teachers that would come in and teach character education, life skills, job skills. We did a lot of field trips and things like that. So I was the coordinator of residential education for several years, and then I was offered a promotion to assistant director of residential life. That was obviously an administrative role with supervisory responsibilities, and I was responsible for supervising the residential halls and the residential advisors that provided care for our students that were staying on campus. I was in that position for I think about 4 years, and then baby number 2 came along, and I resigned to stay home with him for a while. I just know that we're not going to get that time back when they're little, so it was important for me to be a stay-at-home mom when they were little. When I was ready to go back to work after he was ready to start preschool, I went back into the classroom and I was teaching special education, self-contained, multi-categorical. So I had students with various disabilities, learning disabilities, speech and language impairments, deaf, hard of hearing, autism, developmental delay, just multi-categorical. And I did that for 8 years and really enjoyed that. Then I was offered an opportunity to go back into teaching deaf children. So I transitioned from that classroom setting to preschool, teaching deaf and hard of hearing preschool 3 and 4 year olds during COVID. I don't need to say anymore. It was a rough year for me and for the students. And I realized that that's not my gift. I raised my children and I hoped I'd be a grandmother one day, but the littles are not for me. And that's okay. It was an experience, and I'll take it and use it, put it in the back of my cap, and know that that is not my gift. And God bless all the people that teach preschool. So then I was offered a position with Greenville County Schools, and for the last 3 years I was lead interpreter for the Greenville County School System. So also in a supervisory role in that position, and providing guidance and leadership for all of the educational interpreters in the school district that interpret in classrooms for our deaf and hard of hearing students. Also coordinated all of the parent interpreting services for the district, and of course have had a lot of experience with human resource kind of management and topics related to that. So I would say with that question, my human resource experience would be with the positions where I was functioning as a manager or a leader with supervisory responsibilities with at the School for the Deaf and Blind and Greenville County Schools. But I agree with what you said, Dr. Gilliam, that human resources, really we experience that in every aspect of our life, and it is about relationships and relating to people, and I think we do that every day in multiple capacities. So let's see what the next question is here. In my spare time, I don't have a lot of these days, but when I get to have some time to do something fun, of course, I love to spend time with my family and my friends, and do fun things together. I also love to decorate my home. My family does not really love that I love to decorate because it's a lot of boxes and moving things, but I love to do that. I love to sew. I love to craft. I love music. I love to be outside. I love to work in my garden. I love my flowers. I also love to paint furniture or paint a picture. I love painting. And I also love to listen to music. That relaxes me. And I've just really started enjoying reading again. I think for a long time I didn't allow myself the pleasure of just sitting down and enjoying a book because I was busy raising children. And so I've recently really started enjoying reading for pleasure again. I'm always reading things for school and work and professional with professional topics, but I've started enjoying reading for pleasure again. My dissertation, I don't think is going to be using personnel theory. I'm going to be using the lens of the garbage can model and rational decision making model for my dissertation. I hope you enjoyed this video, and for those of you I've not had the opportunity to meet yet, I hope I get to meet you soon. And thank you for joining me here at my little farm.